Welcome to the Beasts of the NFC East podcast. I'm your host, Sean Gnitzcavich, with my co-host, Jeremy Goode. The New York football Giants stink again. The Philadelphia Eagles and Philadelphia in general stink right now. The Washington Commanders are on the come up. The Cowboys might have an MVP candidate in Dak Prescott. We're right past the quarter of the season mark. Jeremy Goode, what is good?
Eagles finally lose. I think a lot of people are getting too cocky in Philadelphia. They had reason to, but obviously, they played a good team. In Denver, they lose there. Dallas whips up on the Jets. They played well offensively. Opponent kind of stinks. We'll get into it. Washington handled the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a bit of frauds, especially what they did 2 weeks ago. Giants lose to the Saints. I don't know if that's the result the Saints won ultimately, but Kellen Moore gets his first win as a head coach. Good for him. Interesting week of football, week 5 football for sure in this division.
Yeah. Definitely interesting. I know that we are a couple of days late. That's my fault. I had a little fiasco. So that's why we're going to do more of a quarter of the season review. And we're going to touch on the games because there's important details that happen. I mean, some really important stuff in these games. I mean, each one of these games, especially early in the season, I feel like kind of sheds some light on the team going forward through the season. There's, obviously injuries impact that. Kind of the play style, the way rookies start to develop and find their roles in the team, the way that free agents start to kind of find their footing on the new team. And we're going to get into that. But yeah, I ended up getting locked out of my house. Really coincidentally, me and my fiance were locked out of my house till about 5 in the morning on Sunday night until I finally realized that I could kick through an old doggy door. So I had to kick through the wall of my house to get back in. So I apologize about that. If you guys want to hear more about that story on the next episode, comment below and I'll get into some fine details about how I kicked through the wall, about how our locksmith had a flat tire. It was just and I lost my cat, but she is found, and that's why I'm wearing this sad cat shirt in honor of my cat who was lost but is now found. Anyway, we got football.
Yeah, happy cat shirt then.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, she's not the happiest of cats.
So it's a fitting shirt then.
I mean, she to me she is. To outsiders. Yeah. But we'll get into that if you want to hear about the story. Just comment below. But for right now, we're talking football because we got plenty of football. Do I want to be talking about the New York Giants football? Kind of. This is kind of like therapy for me. Like, is it miserable? Do I hate watching other people talk about it, especially people who aren't Giants fans? I feel like they just look at because nobody's really watching the Giants Saints if you're not a Giants fan.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. You just look at the highlights, you look at the fumbles, you look up the turnovers, you look at the scoreboard, and you're like, wow, the Giants suck. Brian Dable sucks. Everybody sucks. Which a lot of that is true. There's a lot of suckage going on, but there's some good and there's a lot of fluke stuff in that game. Jayden'S is back, the Washington Commanders' Lord and Savior, and they look good again. And yes, I think what you said, the Chargers, I don't know if there's much fraudulent. I think maybe their defense is more fraudulent than we expected.
Okay.
Which they just traded for Odefi Owe. Yes.
For the Ravens.
I don't know what the Ravens are doing, dude. They traded for another safety. They have 2 superstar safeties. I don't know. And they just got CJ Gardner-Johnson too.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with the Ravens front office. Who seem to be usually immaculate. But I think also their O-line is completely decimated. Which we said. I guess Mekhi Becton came back for this game, got injured again. Obviously they were without Rashawn Slater for the year, and they were out without Joe Alt. Due to that high ankle sprain from the MetLife turf. Thank you, MetLife turf. Luckily, the Cowboys didn't suffer any major injuries playing on MetLife. Good for you guys. The only injury you guys put was the hurting on the New York Jets, which sorry if you're a Jets fan, dude. I've seen them.
Hard to do.
Well, I've seen so many Jets Jets people tweeting about how they're envious of the Giants. I mean, the Jets are the only winless team right now, but they're talking. I mean, I guess they're right in a way. They're there's more exciting players, more cornerstone players to be excited about on the Giants. I also think that people are really love-hate with Sauce Gardner, but from what I saw and from what I heard, like he did a pretty good job of locking up George Pickens aside from a couple of
One of those
those
deep
big
shots,
plays and
right?
that deep shot touchdown. Yeah, because I mean Pickens only had 2 catches, like he was pretty much locked down in the game. And then the Eagles, their offensive struggles, the stuff that we're like, don't worry, we're winning. The stuff that we don't worry, we're winning, seems to have finally caught up to them. Jeremy, do you want to get into any of that, or do you want to start breaking
Yeah.
down?
I mean, well, I guess I'll dive into that. You're right. It did catch up to them in a pretty weird way too, because they the first 3 quarters they controlled the game pretty well, and I don't think Denver played a great game overall. It's kind of weird because I think the Denver defense is very good, offense is okay. I think they're an okay team. If the game's on the road, maybe it's different too. Better in their case. I don't think they're great. Eagles just threw this game away. The problem that stinks, this is the first time the Eagles have lost at home in like 287 games. The problem that stinks with this is like they don't lose often, but
287 days or 287 games?
days, days, days,
Days.
days.
Okay.
Games would be amazing.
I was
Um,
like, what the hell?
this team doesn't lose often. When they do, they have 4 to 5 chances to win, and they somehow lose it. So it's always brutal in that sense. Winnable game. They just didn't finish. They didn't finish the game off. They when this offense doesn't click, they'll have 3, 4, 5 three and outs in a row. I don't know why. I think that we just haven't seen a consistent game from this offense yet. And it's a little annoying because they have a lot of good talent, and it seems like they have enough figured out, and they just don't connect the dots all the way through, which is just odd. Um, I think it's good to lose in the NFL a little bit. You don't want to be perfect. We saw that in 2007 with the Patriots, and I forget the team they played in the Super Bowl. But
Yeah, the New York Football Giants, dude.
oh,
We're
thank
perfectly
you.
imperfect. We're still perfectly imperfect. We'll prove that tomorrow.
Tough game. I thought the defense for the Eagles played really well. They were on the field for most of the second half. They were gassed. A little bit annoying, but hopefully it's more of a wake up call. I think they keep on saying in the press conference like it's another lesson learned. Like how many? But I just don't get how many lessons they have to learn in this regard. It's okay ultimately. Um, they play the Giants obviously tomorrow, but uh, difficult outcome for a game that they should have won against a team that they handled pretty well for the first 45 minutes honestly. So it's not like they got like beat badly either at the end. I mean it was not in fun fashion. It was a choke
Yeah.
job, but it just wasn't like Bo Nix couldn't make a throw for most of the game, and then he was playing really well. And Jalen was making throws early on, and then he couldn't make a throw. It's just bad football. They'll take a
Yeah.
loss. It's okay, but those games sting. It's always really dramatic with this team, and then when it doesn't go your way, it hurts the most. So yeah,
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest storylines, because I guess if we're going to talk about like where the state of the teams are, I guess we might as well start with these Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah,
Obviously, 4-1. There's now no undefeated teams in the
right.
NFL because of
Bills
Drake
lose.
May's resurgence against the Bills, man, and Stephon Diggs' revenge game, and then the Eagles. But the Bills, I feel like were a juggernaut, and they fought in that game. The Eagles looked good for the half, like we said, and then kind of fell apart. But that's kind of like the storyline of these Eagles this season. This and I, I'm a Giants fan. I'm not talking shit here. In Philly, you can talk plenty of shit about me, but I am kind of talking shit because you know
I
what? I
can't
got to
wait to
poke
do
holes.
this.
I got to grasp at straws. This Philadelphia Eagles team this year reminds me more of the team 2 years ago than the team it looked like last year. And that was the team that was like winning games, winning games, winning games throughout the beginning of the season. And I remember you were making the excuses about how good they looked, or not how good they looked, how they were winning games despite how they looked like they were having flaws, and then it
Right.
automatically caught up to them. And by the end of the year, like they were first round knockout by the Bucks.
Yeah.
That's kind of the Eagles team that I'm seeing right now, man. That's like the struggles, like the lack of clicking on in the passing game, the fact that
Well,
Saquon Barkley hasn't been able to get going, like your O line is your O line and your D line is the weakest I feel like I've seen in at least 5 years.
yeah, well, the O line is significantly hurt. The D line,
Yeah.
they have to figure it out. The one thing, so I agree with you on that. Uh, I will say it's still very early in the year. We're only 5 weeks in, and they're still 4-1. They've had the hardest schedule in the NFL so far with the teams they've played, and they should be 5-0, beating a decent Denver Broncos team as well. I don't think they're great, but they're definitely decent. Um, I don't see the comparison from 2 years ago because defensively this team is just much better personnel wise, talent wise, better coaching. They don't have Sean Desai as defensive coordinator. They don't have Matt Patricia in there. They don't have
Those issues.
and stuff like that. I can see if this continues, but I just think we're too early on in the year to be making those comparisons. This team gets better as the year goes on. We think we saw that this last year, especially last year where we're at the bye for week 5 when they had it. They were 2-2, and then they just turned it on. So they had plenty of time. Yeah, the first month it was their preseason, and it started off a little rough. But in terms of the wins, I mean, they still won 4 of their 5 games. They should be 5-0. They have time to correct this. I'm not scared.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like that's true. Even like the Chiefs, people were writing off the Chiefs after they were, 0-2, and then they beat the
Yeah,
Giants. Now everybody's thinking the Chiefs are back on track, even though they did just lose to the Jaguars in a pretty tight game too, man. I mean,
yeah, brutal.
there's been some exciting football, man. Some really exciting football, and I think one thing that's really shown this year, if anything, is how much coaching matters. I mean, like we already knew that Kyle Shanahan was a superstar, but he's making it work with Mac Jones. Everybody had the Rams in that game. I had the Rams in that game. That was the
Yeah,
one like in my
me too.
parlay that I lost. it, and then you see Daniel Jones turn into an MVP candidate, which is like that's a part of the storyline for the Giants too. I mean, like once we get to them, but like Daniel Jones under Shane Steichen is literally an MVP candidate. Like playing well. Like it's not a fluke now. 5 games in the season. It's not the first 2 games of the season last year for the Saints. Like he's playing well. He's playing poised. He looks good. He's spreading the ball around. It's it hurts. It hurts. I think there's a lot of people that are like rooting for him, and like I am too. But I'm also just kind of like,
It's a
where's
double
that for
whammy.
us? We
Yeah,
need it. We need it for us. And it also just like just another one of those players that goes off to become a superstar. And like Darius Slayton, we retained him, and I was like happy about that. He's injured for I think tomorrow's game against Philly too. But man, I kind of wish that he left to see how good he could have been because like he kind of sucked as our number 1 receiver without Malik Neighbors last week. I think he was actually graded the worst out of every wide receiver by PFF last week. So that's
right.
good.
Which you also
We're
have to,
talking, yeah,
not an official grading. The idea is probably there. Is he the worst? I don't
no,
know, but yeah, I get it. I get the whole thing. Yeah,
yeah. The grading thing, I think it's because he fumbled.
right.
He had a couple drops. He had like some of his routes. Like I think it was actually more Jackson Dart was late on or too early
Yeah,
on, and so yeah, it looked worse on paper, and I think a lot of casuals that just like look at that just want they're angry. I'm angry, dude. I was the pissiest. I was the most miserable person after that Giants loss to the Saints, especially when I thought that I was going to be coming on this pod talking about the freaking momentum we have and how great we have when we started off as good as we did. But
right.
we're talking about the Eagles here. I have to stop getting back on my thing. 5 games into the season. 5 games into
Yeah.
the season, Jeremy.
Yes.
What are your biggest concerns for this Philadelphia Eagles team?
Uh, play consistently on offense, finding the offensive line has been a concern. They don't seem Landon Dickerson seems significantly hurt. He is hurt. I don't know if we have a formal report on Cam Jurgens' health. He has not played well this year either. Lane
Yeah.
Johnson has been out for several second halves this year. All about getting them healthy. Tyler Steen to replace Becton. I think it's been okay. Um, he hasn't been as good as Becton. Oddly enough, there were a lot of plays where Becton wasn't great last year, but they got by just because of talent. But Becton was also very, very good overall. It's just about finding the click and hitting the right notes with this offense and doing it on a consistent basis. When they find that, I think they're off and running great. It's about when and it's about if they find it. I think they will, but it's about when they will. Sooner rather than later. We'll see. That's a concern. I think Fangio adjusts things on defense and they'll be okay there. Just
Yeah,
about getting Jalen in sync and getting the offensive line healthy and be able to run the ball and then being able to throw off the run and be able to run off the throw and working together that way. So goodish problem to have, or not the worst problem I think to have overall, but they have to figure it out. It's been a
yeah,
concern. They have not played a complete game on offense all year. That's not. There are going to be games you don't play completely on either side and still win, and that's fine. You still want to eventually get to one or two or a few for sure, but we'll see.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you this. Like, I think obviously AJ Brown not getting synced up with Jalen Hurts, like, and I
Yeah,
think that drama, as much as it's people I think overplay the drama. I mean, I think it's like it's growing. I mean, what's the latest on that saga? What was the especially
they
now
sat.
after a loss? Like,
They were in a room for 2 hours with Saquon Barkley to talk it out. They said that was productive. They hashed things out. That's good. I don't know why it has to come to this for that to happen. I think Jalen Hurts is the godfather of AJ Brown's kids. It's
yeah,
certainly the relationship seems different now, which is okay. Relationships like I don't. It's just weird. They're two alpha guys who are pretty mature in their own way. Obviously, AJ has some divaness to him. Every elite receiver does. I also think that his divaness isn't really that big of a deal compared to what I've seen. I've seen T.O. in his Morristown, New Jersey mansion doing reps shirtless in front of the media. I don't know if you remember that, Sean, back in '05. It broke
yeah,
the team up. It was awful. There could be a lot worse than what AJ Brown is doing. But they had a meeting. It sounds good. Hopefully that helps going forward. The relationship needs to be mended. It can. I think these guys are such competitive athletes too. They want to compete at the highest level. It makes sense too, but figure out for God's sakes, at least for me.
yeah, yeah. And then like this is like I'm trying to look at where the Eagles rank sack wise, but I feel like this year, I guess
Probably
seven
last.
seven in total in the year, man. I want to
Yeah.
see where that ranks up. But I feel like, I mean, I remember 2 years ago, even like there was games where you guys were having 7 sacks total in a singular game.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys went from a team that had 5 double-digit sack players, and like sacks aren't everything; it's pressure and all this
Right.
stuff.
We had 70 sacks. We had 70 sacks the year we went to the Super Bowl the first time against the Chiefs. And yeah, have not been that productive on sacks this year. I think pressure overall has been decent, could be better. And I
Yeah,
think, like you said, there's more than just sacks. I think a lot of times we see pressures lead to turnovers, which are more important than sacks ultimately. But yeah, they don't
yeah,
get to the quarterback enough. They Nolan Smith being hurt and being on IR does not really kills that the sack total as a whole. So yeah, I think uh I think
oh wow,
Jalen Hunt. I think if he could step it up, that would be great. But I think he's also been good against her. Like I think he's established the run well. I think that he's made some plays too. So just
yeah,
about being more consistent. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, hey, Cesario Smith just got his first sack too, man. I don't know how that
First full
rotation
sack.
is. Full sack, yes. And by the way,
Yes.
you guys aren't that low. You guys are like tied for like fifth from last with 7. But I didn't realize. I mean, the Giants only have 10 on the year. The Cowboys only have 10 on the year, and the Giants, with this like monstrous pass rush, you figure would have more. I mean, Brian Burns has 5 alone. But I think
Right.
the pressure stats. I know that we're like leading the league. Like I think our 3 pass rushers, at least prior to the Saints game, were all in the top 10 and like pressures on the
Yeah.
year. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, like this is an Eagles team that I'm used to playing that way. Uh,
Yeah.
be
They
being
lose
dominant on both sides of the line, and
they
it's
lose in
yeah,
the offseason. They lose Josh Sweat to Arizona. They lose Brandon Graham
yep,
to free agency. They lose Brandon
Hey,
Graham to retirement.
yeah.
Who else? We lost another. Well, obviously Milton
Well,
Williams,
Milton Williams. Yeah, Milton Williams.
who was pretty effective at getting at the quarterback. Uh, it's tough to replace those guys, and it's certainly. I understand moving on from all of them besides Brandon, who retired. I get not wanting to
Yeah.
pay Josh Sweat. He is a very streaky player, but he's
Yeah.
also a pretty solid vet. So I get that. It's a balance with who you keep and who you don't, and it might not spending the money immediately and relying on
Yeah.
cheaper guys could hurt you early on in the year, maybe even longer. So we'll see all that.
Yeah. I mean, but like if you're looking, and obviously stats don't tell us full picture, but like Saquon
Yeah,
isn't getting moving this year, and that's something that like when Saquon left, I was like, you know what, he has had like up and down years and dealt with injury. Right now he has that knee injury, but it looks like he's good to go
yeah, I think he'll be fine with that.
for Thursday. But I mean, like we saw the Giants have an awful offensive line, and that's one of the reasons
Yeah,
why Saquon Barkley went from like being one of the best running backs, but like hampered to being the best, like looking like the best of all time last year behind a great Eagles offensive line. And now your offensive line is hurt. Honestly, I think that there is a little bit of wear and tear from Saquon from all of the runs he had last year too. But
yeah.
oh
I think there's also wear
yeah,
and tear from the offensive line too. We talk about the wear and tear from a running back year in year out. That's true. That's fair. I think that we're also seeing it from the offensive line. They just did so much work last year in terms of run blocking, pass protection too. But this is a team that loves to run block. You'd rather run block as an offensive lineman, but it also does. It's a lot of wear and tear. They had a lot of success, obviously, a lot of running down the field, a lot of successful blocking for Saquon. He had over 2,000 yards, and then the playoffs too. That
yeah,
adds up on those guys as well, and I think we're seeing it. I think we're seeing it through injury, just a little fatigue too as the games go on. I'm not sure, but you got to stack wins in September. This is why you do it, so you
stack in
can.
September, and you said it. And I think I said it. I said October is starting, and you're going to lose a game, and there we go. This
Yeah,
is
that's why
hungover October,
it's
dude.
that's why it's so good. It doesn't matter how you do it. Start off with wins, so you can recover from playing poorly but winning. It's tougher to do so if you're playing poorly and losing. So when you should
Yeah,
be winning as a good team. So yeah, we reality check for sure.
yeah. Yeah, definitely a reality check for the Eagles. I mean, if you wanted to talk about something like the improvement of your second year players, I mean, Cooper DeJean's a superstar. Quinion Mitchell's a superstar.
They're
Jordan
great.
Davis lost weight and looks great.
Yeah,
Jalen,
I hope. I think
yeah,
if Jordan Davis can continue to work as on the pass round, uh, against the run as a defensive tackle, that would be great. Cooper
yeah,
DeJean is a superstar. I'd love. He would be great too. I mean, we saw him have a pick in the Super Bowl, and he took it back for a touchdown. He seems
yeah,
really, really dangerous with the ball in his hand. He had an interception against the Bucks, not really an interception. It hit the ground and was overturned. But then he had a
yeah,
great return off of that after diving on the ground. So he's dangerous with the ball in his hands. Quinion, defensive player of the week going to the Denver game, was not great on Courtland Sutton. But he also, even though the numbers weren't like amazing, he wasn't too terrible after looking back at the tape. A lot of quarterbacks are going to give up a few catches and some yards every game,
yeah,
regardless. He definitely wasn't amazing. Wasn't one of his better games, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. Yeah, you gotta grow with the youth on this defense. These guys are asked to be veterans their second year, which I guess people always wonder when it starts as a veteran. Some people say it's your second year. I don't think that makes sense, even though you're not a rookie. But these guys are asked to play at a tall order at such a young age, and you're going to have quote unquote growing pains because of that. But you'll deal with that with the
yeah,
talent you have. I think and that's okay.
yeah. I mean, that's fair to say. And Jihad Campbell, your first round pick, has been playing great.
He's
Andrew
been
Makuba,
special.
your third round pick or second round pick with Makuba?
I forget with him. I forget. I think he would have been a second round pick, and then we traded to the first pick in the third round. So I guess I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it's really a second round talent. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, he's been playing great, and I feel like one of the knocks on him is he's like a little smaller in stature,
A little smaller for sure, but he
but
hits hard.
it's
That's something that the
yeah.
Eagles love. Um, he's made some errors as a rookie, but
Oh
that's
yeah, no, technically second round pick. You guys traded back end of the second round.
okay. Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, even if he was like a first pick in the third round, I would consider it second round in my kind.
yeah,
You know, but
yeah,
yeah, he's had some learning pains, but that's okay. He's a rookie. Um, yeah, I've been happy with the defense with this team, honestly. And I don't blame them against Denver. You can't be on the field that long. You can't. You held on to 3 points in the first three quarters. Offense has to
yeah,
do a better job. Just nothing about it. And I've been on the other side too. Like there have been a lot of times where the defense. A lot of people say they've played well. And I go, no, they did. They ultimately weren't good enough. Defense has been great this year. I mean, they've 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 been awesome and tough to see them have to take a loss because of the offense playing so poorly in the second half against Denver. But such is life.
yeah. No, that's. I mean, this is like you said. I mean, you guys have been winning games. I mean,
Yeah.
I see some cracks, and it's like, you know what? It's funny because I went out to the bar wearing some Giants gear on Saturday night, and
Yes.
man, here in Nashville, lot of Philadelphia Eagles fan. Actually, I ran into country superstar Breland. I think he's like R&B, whatever. I was talking to him,
Okay.
also an Eagles fan. He actually had like an NFL song that came out for like CBS or Fox or ESPN last year or
Really?
something. I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah, but he was actually kind of nice. But like the security guards talking crap. Oh, yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. Yeah, dude, and you live in Nashville, you're a bandwagoner. Yes, he would. The amount of like Nashville, like born and raised people that I've met that have just become Eagles fans, and I feel like I've just been riding this wave. Like I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. Listen, I already had to deal with it in Philadelphia. And like
That's right.
these bandwagon fans, I'm good on it. I'm good. Like I bleed blue. I was born and raised into this. Okay, man. I feel it. You know, I'm not going to say I feel it more. I'm not going to question your fandom, but bogus, just
It
bogus.
was funny
Uh,
after the first Super Bowl, the Eagles got a lot more fans. A lot of people got on
yeah,
board in the
beating the
city.
Patriots.
And then after this Super Bowl too, I think we're seeing the same thing where people just like are even jumping more on board, even though they've had plenty of opportunity beforehand. So it's pretty funny.
I think being dynasty beaters like makes, especially because if a lot of people like just start tuning in for the postseason or the playoffs, you know,
Right.
the Super Bowl, and like they're seeing like, oh, not the Chiefs again. Let's hope these Eagles beat them. Oh, not the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? I think there's the dynasty beating is like what gets people going. Because I've met some Giants fans that became Giants fans watching them beat the Patriots in like 2007, 2011.
Yeah.
So like I think that's a lot. Like some people they did remember their first like game as being a Super Bowl, and just kind of attached themselves to those teams. And I'm
I
sorry if you
think
did pick the Giants, especially
I
after
think if anybody has been a Giants fan before the last decade and they're still a
yeah.
Giants fan today, oh my God, give him the Nobel Peace Prize. Give him some kind of award. Wow.
Yeah, I was bartending this guy's 70th birthday, and he's like all into all these New York sports. And I was like, "So you're a Giants fan too, right?" Because he's like from the Bronx. He's like, "No,
Okay.
I was. I hate the Giants. They cost me so much money. I hate. I don't even want to talk about the Giants. They make me sick." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I don't blame you. I do not blame you." But
I
it was
like
just like, it was
I
like I
like
said like a cursed word, man.
I like that you tried to slip in a New York accent too and didn't mention that. That was I like that. That was good.
Yeah, honestly, I can't even control it, dude. I
That's
break it.
funny.
I break into accents I don't even know where they're from, man.
So it's a beat
Yeah,
up team. Do you want to
yeah.
jump to your Giants now? Do you think we've talked about
Yeah. I
the
mean, what I don't know. What do you feel? Is it? I mean, like I said, we talked about AJ Brown's struggles. I think the biggest question, because if you're looking for like a storyline, I mean, I guess we're half an hour in talking about the Eagles, but like how he usually makes his trades, man. Is there any
Yeah.
trades that like? Because I know Giants Twitter has been heating up with our suspect trades that we're trying to look for or trade out. Like, what do you see anything coming your way? Because I feel like Tank Bigsby
Um
wasn't a big enough one. Zadarius Smith filled a hole.
I think that they will trade for a quarterback eventually.
A cornerback?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe an
Say it.
edge. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think
Dude, I'm
Keely.
surprised you guys didn't go after Owe. I mean, like that seemed like, especially
Yeah.
for what they gave up. I mean, like
What did they end up giving up?
they gave up like a safety that I had no idea, and I think like a
Oh,
pick.
player for player. Wow.
Yeah,
Rare. Rare. Okay.
I mean, I think he was in a contract year, but like, let's pull up this trade.
Yeah, listen, I would have.
Alohi Gilman. I think that's all it was. Alohi Gilman. Are you
Oh, I've
familiar
heard
with
of him.
him?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard of him because of
actually, not the
Madden, I
biggest.
think.
Yeah, yeah, that always helps.
Right. Yeah, I would have loved to have traded Keely Ringo straight up, but
I
yeah,
mean,
I
even
think the
Sidney
Eagles.
Brown, dude.
Yeah, I think he's been nice on special teams, but I sort of like I think they need to find some kind of small role in some defensive packages. But yeah, I think they need a quarterback, so they will look for a quarterback eventually.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find this. Sorry, I'm on Stat News, and we have like the pressures per game, the pressure leaders, but like it doesn't actually say the pressures. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, the other rumor was that AJ Brown's going to get traded, which I thought was going to be. That's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
I'll tell you this right now. It's not happening. It's not happening for several reasons. Most importantly, it would be stupid. But if you need like actual reasons, it would kill the Eagles cap situation
Yeah.
drastically. So not happening for that reason either.
All right. Well, the other thing is maybe Traylon Burks, dude. Everybody keeps saying because Traylon Burks, I guess, is finally healthy. Just got officially waived
Oh,
by the Titans. And this is a good segue because everybody said, oh, this would be hilarious. Like Howie Roseman could do the most hilarious thing and pick up Traylon Burks. They got the player that the Titans drafted when they traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles. But actually, you want to know who could have used Traylon Burks even more? Is my New York Football Giants, who are inept at wide receiver post Malik Neighbors' injury and now
yeah.
Darius Slayton injury, and the fact that Jalen Hyatt is pretty much useless on the field. I don't know why we didn't pull up another wide receiver either from the practice squad. We did like little Jordan Humphrey was just sitting there. Even our guy Montreal Washington, who is great with Jackson Dart, was sitting there to be pulled up. And we just rolled out with the ones we had against the Saints. And then when Darius Slayton got injured, we were so thin at wide receiver. I think our only active wide receivers were Wandale, Jalen Hyatt, Bo Collins, and Gunnar Schletzky, who's our kick returner, who like should not be a wide receiver in the NFL. So that's it. But the New York Football Giants, man, I think what I wanted to do is kind of do like a quick summary. So this is my summary of the Eagles before we translate over to the Giants. Philadelphia Eagles start off the season. Man, we just won the Super Bowl. We're still good. Oh wait, is our offense shitty? Could be. Oh, is our defense shitty? Maybe. Oh wait, no, we're still winning games. Oh,
No.
September's over. Oh, it's October. Now we finally lost. Now the cracks are starting to show. That's my quick recap of the Eagles. You
Okay.
have a better one? Let's hear it.
Yes. Eagles humble themselves and then put pedal to the metal, and like we saw last year, just start kicking butt. Thank you. Still a very good team.
That was quick. That was quick and good. I guess mine was.
Good.
This is my Giants one. Oh wow, we have a brand new exciting season. We don't have Daniel Jones anymore. We get to see Russell Wilson. Oh wait, Russell Wilson sucks. Oh wait, is Russell Wilson good? No, the Cowboys defense just sucks. Oh wait, can the Giants be good? No, we suck on primetime. Now everybody knows we suck. Wait, but there's a new hope. We have Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart. Oh my gosh, we just beat the Chargers. We're so good. And then bam, 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 bam. Those were the 5 straight turnovers right there. Those 5 mans were the 5 straight turnovers, which lost us the game against the Saints. We lost the game against the Saints. The Saints didn't beat us. We beat ourselves against the Saints. And then now our defense, which has been questionable the whole time, it's shown. Spencer Rattler, who's been playing decent football for a losing Saints team, was able to just take advantage of all of the flaws that he pointed out, which was not taking a shot. All he said was the Giants' defense seems simple. And everybody's like, oh, he's making fun of Shane Bowen. No, he's just pointing out the obvious. Shane Bowen is a simpleton. He has so many great weapons, and he's a simpleton. Brian Dable, I'm not sure with these play calls. Like, I feel like they're getting a little bit stale. He gets excited. He's doing all these QB draws. He's doing all these little crossers, and then they seem to be found out. It's just the New York Football Giants, man, are just awry. The state of the Giants is awry. Just like it was coming into the season. You know, it's tough. It's tough. Like, is Jackson Dart the guy? I don't know. I say we at least ride it out this season. There's no way we're benching him. Like, he showed enough success. I think even in that Saints game, despite dropping the ball himself while just running, which was just stupid. And one of the interceptions to Kool-Aid McKinstry was, I believe, was on a fourth down in the red zone. So it was like essentially a punt. The other one, growing pains. But he's shown enough where I feel confident that he can play competent football and at least grow from what he's, especially with his ability to scramble. That's helped out a lot. But we have to see. We have to see this growth and development throughout this year. This is a vital year, and I think the biggest question a quarter of the way through the season is: can Jackson Dart play well enough under the tutelage of Brian Dable to save Brian Dable's job? Where we have another year of him. I'll tell you what. No matter how the end of the season goes, if Brian Dable stays, Shane Bowen needs to go because we have too good of a defense for him to be underutilizing them. Jeremy, I think I've ranted enough. I need to catch my breath. What do you see in this Giants team 5 games into the season?
I have a lot of thoughts on the Giants. They're such a poorly run organization, and that's not breaking news. I know that Giants fans will roll their eyes at that because they know that, and it's not like – it's just everything is just so backwards because they switched to Jackson Dart because they're playing so poorly. But their team is poor not just because of their quarterback, because their offense stinks. And then they have their best player get hurt for the season. Can't do anything about that. Not their fault. Okay. But you brought out Jackson Dart, so you can't bench him because then that looks weird.
Mm-hmm. But now we don't have to. I don't think he's playing it.
You still have to play Dart, but he doesn't have any talent around him. He probably still needs to develop. So even if he had talent, I don't know how great it would look. It would look better.
Yeah.
The coach is awful. Dable is so bad. Obviously, you know what I think about Shane Bowen. The talent on this offense is so poor. It doesn't do Jackson Dart whatever you think about Jackson Dart as what his ceiling could be, what he could be consistently as a quarterback in the future. This is why you don't bring him into a season this early, because he is slop around him. His coach isn't going to help him. They're going to still lose to bad teams like the Saints. Yeah, it's on the road. Maybe that can play into it too. But the Saints are still awful. They're not looking to win. They want their own quarterback. They're an awful team. Where do you go? The question probably should be more towards you, Sean. Where do you go in this case now that you brought in the quarterback to play? You can't bench him at all because that looks awful. No. Not that he would deserve to be benched over a bad game. I'm not saying that. I just mean, at this point, I don't think anybody's going to play well in that offense. And Dable has to. Even if he somehow recovers and wins a few games, get a new voice in there. Get a new offensive guy in there. There's so many better options than Brian.
Maybe next year, but I
don't care about this year. If you did do it eventually this year, okay, I'd get it. Maybe closer to the end of the year. Definitely not now. I agree, but for next year,
Yeah.
absolutely. There are so many better options than Dable, and you've tried it for so many years. Um,
Yeah.
I give the Giants credit; they will wear out every option, and I guess they'll have a lot of examples of why it's not going to work. But yeah, yeah, and then you look at the
Yeah.
running, and they can't figure anything out at the running back. I think Cam Scatterboot is a nice complimentary back. Giving him 15 touches a game, and that number dropped
It's
because they went
he's
down.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
he's efficient. Like Cam Scatterbo, like he is not an issue whatsoever. Like, and I think Tyrone Tracy is going to be back for the Eagles game, which isn't great for my fantasy team because I have both of them, and when they both see it, it's not good for fantasy. But in real life, it's good to have them as a back and forth complimentary, especially because they're both good receiving backs too. And without any wide receivers, like I think they're going to be used quite a bit in the receiving game. And even though Cam Scatterbo, like you look at him, like Demario Davis was saying, he looks like a little kid, like he's a little bowling ball. But he's good in getting the ball down the field as well. I mean, we saw that in the college football championships last year. We haven't really seen it this year with the Giants. Tyrone Tracy, former wide receiver, and I've seen them line up. They've had Cam Scatterbo on the field and Tyrone Tracy going out wide, and I think we're going to be seeing more of that where they have both backs on the field. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more two tight end sets. That's what we saw a lot during the Saints, which was actually pretty successful. Like Jackson Dart, when throwing to the tight ends, was pretty efficient. I mean, we got two more Theo Johnson touchdowns. The first time in 5 years the Giants have scored consecutive touchdowns and consecutive drives, which was the last time was against the Philadelphia Eagles in 2020. And that's how we started the game. And I thought, oh man, dude, like we're gonna like maybe let's hope there's like a little bit of like play by the Saints so that this game is somewhat interesting. Which like I actually don't even want. I want the Giants to just dominate on all fronts. But then it was just fluky as hell. It was the first time since 2016 that a team had 5 consecutive turnovers and 5 consecutive
that's
drives,
crazy.
and that was the New York Jets, who are in which we already share so many miserable, pathetic stats with. And it's all started first with when we're charging down the field, so we're keeping that momentum. We still have that momentum. Darius Slayton catches the deep ball, and then fumbles it. Bam, that hurts us.
Yep.
Then we go to, I believe it was then it was the Jackson Dart just running wide in open field and just drops the ball. He's holding it with one hand. That's just fluky rookie mistake. That was awful. Then you get the Cam Scatterbo running down the middle. He needs new gloves. I need new gloves. He even said it's not the gloves. Stop making fun of Cam Scatterbo. He's badass. He'll run you over. He'll run through a telephone pole, then hit you and hurt you because he's a punisher. So
That
don't be
didn't
talking
look like
crap
a
about my
great
boy
scene.
Cam
That
Scatterbo.
did not look
What's
like a
up?
great scene on the sideline, though. Right after that happens, he's yelling at equipment to get new gloves
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
because
think he was just saying it because he was just like,
he's
yeah,
superstitious too.
no, yeah, yeah.
That's
I would be
that's
too, man.
that was a reason why he wanted the new gloves.
Yeah, I think. Well, he thought that they were bad, but probably superstitious as well. I didn't actually see the exact quote, but he did
Right.
apologize for it. I mean, I'm superstitious as hell. I think if I wear the wrong underwear, that's why the Giants lost. Honestly, I changed out of my Lawrence Taylor jersey halfway through because we were going to go to the beer fest after the game, and I kept the hat on, but I thought I was like, you know what? We kind of were looking poor at the half. Maybe the jersey needs to go. And then I was like, man, maybe I can't take it off now because that's when the Giants fully collapsed, dude. Like
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
superstitious
if
as
you
hell
think
too.
the Giants are losing because you're picking the wrong underwear, you've been picking the wrong underwear for every week for
I'm not
years.
gonna. I have some solid pairs, dude. Too,
Yeah,
some that I really
I
really
believe you.
cherish.
I think
You know,
I think if this team, I think they've approached the running back room kind of disappointingly. I think you know, you mentioned this. You mentioned their college. This isn't Purdue. This is an Arizona State for those guys. Um, I think you need more of a steady back. And Tracy was okay for a lot of the year last year, and then I think he tailed off towards the end of the year. You need something a little more reliable. You need something that can just be more consistent as a running back.
I don't know, man. If you've seen this, I think it's more so because the passing game is not allowing the running game to develop. But like Cam Scatterbu has been incredibly efficient. Like because the yards that he gets are the yards that he needs, and he's breaking through tackles. He's the most fun 4 yard gain guy. He's the most fun 2 yard gain guy, to be honest. And I mean, he had 100 yards from scrimmage last game. He had 100 yards from scrimmage the game prior with Tyrone Tracy out. And I think Tyrone Tracy, I believe he's coming back this week. I think he's going to show like him and Cam Scatterbu are both I'd say upper echelon, if you're going out of 100 and Saquon Barkley's a 99, even though he's probably looking more like an 88 this year. I would probably put Cam Scatterbu and Tyrone Tracy in the 80s. I'm not trying to talk Madden ratings right here, but I think they're both good complementary backs. The issue is the wide receivers, and I think one of the big things that everybody was talking about is now that Darius Slayton was forced to be our number one again, and we gave him the contract that was almost identical to the Saquon Barkley contract. Who would have been a better use on the team? Yeah, probably Saquon Barkley, to be honest. Than Darius Slayton.
Oh yeah.
And I think there was because where we drafted Cam Scatterbu, instead if we had Saquon Barkley, we could have drafted Torrey Horton, who was one of our prospects that we loved. Which, by the way, one of the prospects that you brought up in our top 20 prospects preseason, Jonas Sanker, he was the one who had that touchdown return on the Cam Scatterbu drop fumble.
Yes.
Which did I even mention the two interceptions out? Yeah, I think I did. Both to Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah, your guy, dude.
Where did he go to school? Guy. Yeah.
You know where he went to school.
What did you say? You said Cam Scatterbu has had 2 games with 100 yards rushing?
No, 100 yards from scrimmage.
Oh, who cares about that? There's no one to move the ball in that offense. But again, listen, I think the receiving part, I think that component to his game is nice. I think as a rusher, he's putting up 3.8 yards a game, and I think that I think that against the Chargers, even though you guys won 25 carries for 79 yards for someone of his stature, is definitely not sustainable, but not something you want to go off of. Yeah, listen, Theo Johnson played well against the Saints. He's someone who I think could be nice in the middle of the field and kind of like receiver-esque, honestly, with the way he's shaped.
I need him to.
Yeah, I think this Giants team is just not very good, and they do not help out players who they want to build around that much, i.e. in this case, Jackson Dart. So, yeah, it really it's obviously bad luck with the neighbors thing, but the fact that injury happened and the fact that it kills basically everything with the offense speaks more about the guys making decisions on offense. It's a killer regardless. Don't get me wrong. Like Neighbors out for the year, awful and drastic. But the other teams would have other options to go off of it.
Yeah,
doesn't seem like there's much to work off of with this roster.
I mean, I mentioned this literally this was my big fear after. I was still pretty sad and distraught after we beat the Chargers because we lost Malik Neighbors. And one of the reasons, Daniel Jones goes to the Colts. Yes, Shane Steichen's a great play caller. Look at all of the options he has in the receiving game. Maybe none of those guys are number ones, but Michael Pittman's a great receiver. Josh Downs is a great receiver. Alec Pierce is a good deep threat. Tyler Warren is a new superstar tight end. And then they have one of the best running backs in the league. The best running back in the league this year is Jonathan Taylor, I would say. But the thing is, Daniel Jones was stifled over here because he never had good options, and he had a pretty shite O-line. Our O-line right now, Andrew Thomas, since he's been back, 0 pressures, 0 QB hits, 0 sacks. That's awesome. He's still the superstar. Jermaine Luminor went out. I don't think he's playing Thursday. So our rookie Marcus Mbow, who has showed promise, especially a lot of promise for a 5th-round pick, will probably be playing right tackle. Our interior guys still suck. Right tackle, yeah. Well, he was playing left tackle after James Hudson, decided to become a fighter on the football field and punch Cowboys players in the head. But yeah, John Runyon is pedestrian. John Michael
Yeah.
Smith's is pedestrian. Greg Van Roten's pedestrian. Like, there's just that's weak sauce to only have like a good left tackle and like two, like I will say probably mid running backs. Like that's all we have. Like Wan'Dale Robinson had that great game. The issues that I had with him going into the season are still the issues with Wan'Dale Robinson. Like he's a little like short possession receiver. He's not like, yeah, he had some great plays down the field against a terrible Cowboys secondary, but he's not that guy who's going to be winning those battles. That's why he was relying. I mean, Daniel Bellinger had like one of his most efficient games, 4 receptions for 52 yards. You think like, oh, that's nothing. But for the Giants who have nothing, that's the best we got right now is our tight end game. And then there's everybody's rooting for OBJ to come back. He just was on a podcast talking about how like he wants to finish, like he's not done playing for the Blue. Like he wants to go to the Giants, but now he had to accept his 6-game suspension. I wonder if that was getting the things in motion. Like the Giants were like, hey, you know what, Odell, I think we could use you. And he's like, actually, I did PEDs last year. I need to serve 6 games before I can join you guys. So that's not an option right now. Right. I did mention Treylon Burks. I mean, like I said, I live here in Nashville. Everybody hates Treylon Burks here. I feel like he's also just had bad luck with injuries. Like I like every play that I think he's got injured on that's been like season ending or like pushed him back was like a really sick catch or something, you know, like, yeah. I think even this one in practice was like an awesome catch and then screwed up his shoulder. So
he had a touchdown against the Eagles a few years ago in Philadelphia. It was decapitated in the end zone. Yeah. I think he had a concussion. So you're right about that. I also think obviously Treylon Burks didn't work in Tennessee. If he didn't work in Tennessee, I don't see how he's going to work with the Giants. But maybe we
have nothing right now. we just have nothing.
The opportunity depth chart might overpower that too. Yeah, good point.
If we were just going to go into everything here, though, defensively on the season, like I said, I just looked it up. I think the Giants, as a team, are 4th in pressures, but Abdul Carter, I think, is still top 5 in pressures amongst all players in the NFL this year. He only has a half sack, but those sacks are coming. We didn't have a single sack in the Saints game, and I think that's because, like I said, Spencer Rattler called his shot. Shane Bowen has a simple defense. They were able to take advantage of that. So that he could get the ball out. Like, they was getting pressures like almost every single play. Dexter Lawrence was getting pressures. Abdul Carter was getting pressures. I saw him like with a bunch of spin moves. Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, who's, top 2 in sacks on the season, was getting pressures, wasn't able to get home. Our secondary was just suspect, as it's been throughout this year. Drew Phillips, who is like a playmaker, he's one of the most volatile players because I think he's like given up some of the most yards out of the slot on the season, but he's also had like the most pass breakups, like pass deflections. He's had a bunch of tackle for losses because he's able to read those little screens and just get after them. So Drew Phillips has been sketchy. Every time Deonte Banks gets on the field, I literally see that number 2, and I'm like, they are going to him, and guess what they do? And they exploit him, and he sucks. And you know what? Leave him as a kick returner. If you want to put him as a kick returner, he seems okay. Like, he uses athletic ability for that. But Cordell Flott, who's developed into a much better player and has been getting good pass breakups, leave him out there. Like, if you need Deonte Banks there every once in a while, but stop doing like the third down man Deonte Banks, because that's been exploited every single time. Tyler Nubin, I think, is top 5 in missed tackles or top 1. And
I was going to ask what you thought about Nubin. I thought on that long touchdown throw, I thought that was Banks in coverage. And then I realized that was probably too high for a player, him to be starting off there. And it was Nubin. What do you think about him as I guess it's a second year now?
Second year, second round player, and somebody who I thought, when we let Xavier McKinney go, I'm like grasping at straws, because when we let Landon Collins go, we drafted Xavier McKinney, and he ended up being great. We let Xavier McKinney go, we draft Tyler Nubin in the second round, and he's just been hasn't been great in run defense, stopping the run. Like, we're a poor tackling team. He's one of the biggest examples of it. Like I said, I think he leads the league in missed tackles, or at least up there. I think that was a stat from a couple weeks ago, so I don't know how it's aged since then. And then he's a liability in the pass game too. Like that Rashid Shaheed touchdown, like that was on him. Javon
He does
Holland too is
that.
like,
Rashid,
yeah,
he does that to a lot of people. But yes,
oh
the
yeah.
coverage, seeing that coverage, it was not good.
I picked him up on my fantasy team, and then I put him in there, and then I realized Rico Dowdle was available, so I dropped him.
I
But
saw
I
you.
knew I had a feeling Rashid Shaheed. That's funny, dude, because we were both Rico Dowdle haters last
Yeah,
year.
it's so and I started him, but it sucked
He's
because
your
he only
favorite.
scored a touchdown, and they're like, no. He had like 200 yards on the ground. I go, great, but I need like if you have 200 yards on the ground, I need like 2, 3 touchdowns. But yeah, it was good.
He helped me win.
I was a Rico Donald hater. Wow, was he amazing last week?
Yeah, dude, and he's out for revenge against the Cowboys this week, which I love. I love
Love
so
that.
much.
Would be
But
nice.
let's finish up this Giants. Like I said, Abdul Carter, he's gonna get there. Like he is as good as advertised, and if you watch the film and not just count the counting stats of the sacks, like you will see. And if you watch an actual Giants game, which I know is hard for anybody who's not a Giants fan, and hard for people who are Giants fans, but there's a lot of other better football to be watched than the New York Football Giants. But if you're watching it, Abdul Carter's is probably one of the reasons why you're watching it, because he is great. Dexter Lawrence is still, I'd say, the best defensive tackle in the league, right up there with Chris Jones. Brian Burns, is having like a breakout. People are saying defensive player of the year. Let's be real. Like, his stats and his production is up there. Like, especially it's not just the sacks. Like, he's been great in the run game as well. But there's some really great players. Can I give you a Devin Lloyd? Devin Lloyd is like, he's my favorite man, and I love that guy coming out of college too. But he's looking good. Bobby Okereke, all right. Darius Musa, we need to step up with Mike McFadden down. I've actually seen him make like some good plays, like some impact plays. So yeah, he might be like suspect in some areas. He's a second-year player, fifth-round pick. Wasn't expected to be the starter, stepped in. He's definitely better than when he was out for concussion and we had to have like special teamers that are quote unquote linebackers step in, and then also had to move Abdul Carter to linebacker, taking away his strength as a pass rusher. And then Darius Alexander, our third round pick, who is the first pick in the third round. He's starting to get a little bit of play, man. He had some good pressures. He had a nice tackle for loss, I believe, too. Like he's starting to be on our field, and I think he's finally worked his way up to that defensive tackle too, which is what you pick somebody at the top of the third round, and your second best defensive tackle is Raheem Nunez-Roches. You kind of want that third rounder to step in and be that defensive tackle too. So that's the state of the Giants, man. State of the Giants. Shane Bowen should be fired. Brian Dable better hope that Jackson Dart looks like an offensive rookie of the year candidate, because that's really the only way he's going to save his job, because I think this team makes too many mistakes. When we beat the Chargers, we were getting those positive plays, those fluke positive plays were landing in our favor. When we lost to the Saints, we had too many fluke negative plays. 5 in a row. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, maybe. But those... It was 5? Okay, yeah. But no, we're not going to win. It doesn't matter how bad the Saints team is, which, by the way, they look pretty competent against us. So that just goes to show who we are. Spencer Rattler gets his first win. He has 10 consecutive losses and gets his first win against the New York Giants. That's an awesome stat to have. Kellen Moore gets his first win as a coach after 4 consecutive losses against the New York Giants. It just, we suck.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. And we're talking about maybe we pick up Deontay Johnson. He's a cancer. He's not good for a losing team. Like, let's be real.
Even personality-wise, skill-wise, too, I think all the juice was squeezed in Pittsburgh with him.
Yeah. No, I agree. I know Jacoby Myers is another big name. He's in a contract year, which is funny because I remember that offseason, the reason why we traded for Darren Waller, who, by the way, is a superstar after leaving the Giants. We traded for Darren Waller because there was no good wide receivers on the free agent market. The best one was Jacoby Myers, who, guess what, is pretty good.
Yeah, Waller with Miami might be a trade candidate. I don't know. Miami's not good, but I guess the
Yeah.
Giants are not a team that would be
Well, he
fine.
he came out of retirement. It was like, well, not for the Giants though. Like, you have to trade me to the Dolphins, so he's not coming back to us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, only the New York Giants, dude. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else really to talk about there, man. You ought to go to the Washington Commanders or the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll go to Washington.
All right. Washington Commanders are now 3-2. This is my little recap of the Washington Commanders. Start off the season against the New York Football Giants. Man, we're picking up where we left off. We're still really good. Oh no, we get our butts kicked by Green Bay in prime time. Everybody sees us. They're starting to see us as frauds. Oh no, Jayden Daniels is hurt. We're screwed. Oh, Marcus Mariota? Is he our savior? Oh no, he still sucks. Wait, Jayden Daniels back. Oh, he's awful. Oh wait, he changed his cleats. No, he's a superstar. The Commanders are good again. We're going to go back to the playoffs. We're going to make a deep run. And that is the Commanders so far after 5 games of this season. What do you think, Jeremy? You have anything you want to add to that?
Could not have said it any better myself. I do not have anything to add. Quote that, and that I will ibid that as well. That is my response to my thoughts on Washington so far this year.
Cool. All right, I think that's it. I think that's all we have to say about them. No,
Listen, I think this team is. Yeah, I think this team. It didn't help that they didn't have Jayden Daniels when he was hurt for a little bit. They kind of recovered. They didn't in the win column with that. I just don't think they're as good as they were last year. It's. I'll try to pull up some things, but they don't look the same. It doesn't look like they're continuing how they left off last year, going into this year in a exponential or just uptick way, in my opinion. They beat the Chargers by 17. I don't know. I think the Chargers. I tell people that they have the Staley stink to them still. Even though they have even though they have Jim Harbaugh, who I think is a good NFL coach. I don't know if he's great. I think it's different from college, and there's still learning pains there. They lose to Atlanta. That was a bad loss. I get that they have Mariota. I don't care. And Mariota's an experienced quarterback too.
yeah.
I just don't know what to make of them. When they play the good teams like the Packers, they lose. Yeah, I'm not sure. I just think they're. I'm not sure about long term wise, but I think at least right now they're worse than last year, and that's not good because they want to improve going forward with their quarterback, and they did that by getting older players. And I don't think that's how you build an NFL team in today's game. But Sean, I want to hear your points. What do you
Yeah.
think about Washington so far?
You know what? I think doing my little BS little recap there. I'll tell you what. Yeah, they played awful against the Packers, but the week prior, the Packers put a hurting on the Detroit Lions, who looked like the truth again. I think the Washington Commanders are more so the team that they were at the end of last year than they were at the beginning of last year. I think Jayden Daniels coming back from injury, he looked good. Like I said, I guess he had his pink cleats when he changed those, just lit it up, man. And he looked good coming back, which I think was one of the biggest concerns, and he was efficient running the ball as well. Dalton Wasserman from PFF had this stat that the Washington Commanders, I think, are top 3 in yards after contact. And it's something around 75 yards after contact. And they're 13-1 when they have at least 75 yards of after contact after the run. 13-1. The one loss was last week against the Falcons. But they had it again this week with their boy Bill, who it looks like they're finally giving the ball to one guy, which we've been saying for all year. Yeah, dude. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, he's the future there. There's a reason why Chris Rodriguez Jr. was not the active back or the starting back over Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler, and same with Jeremy McNichols. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was a steal in the 7th round. Uh, Tom Brady loves him. He looked so happy talking to Tom Brady, dude. It was
That
like,
was cool.
I mean,
I saw
no
that.
matter
Yeah.
who you are, that looked like that was so awesome. He was just so
Yeah.
stoked, like a little kid, man. And like all credit to him, man. Like he only got to play one college game last year. Like luckily he was able to show himself in the Shrine Bowl, and he looks good, man. He looks great. Like he's explosive as hell. Like Debo Samuel, I guess, called it. And by the way, Debo Samuel, too, if we're doing the quarter of the way through, Terry McLaurin obviously has been hurt the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's been disappointing while he's been on the field prior to that. But Debo Samuel, and I think we've learned this, and we'll talk about it with Javonte Williams and the Cowboys. Sometimes it takes people a little bit after injury to get back to their prime selves. And it seems Debo Samuel is in that. And I think that he's in a good scheme with Cliff Kingsbury. Like Cliff Kingsbury is putting him in the position to do that. I don't know if you saw Jayden Daniels like pre was practicing his touchdown celebration with Debo Samuel, like to play before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that's a little bit of calling your shot. That's the moxie that Jayden Daniels brings, man. That guy, like I know that like we've criticized them for bringing in some players that are a little bit older. But Bobby Wagner actually really good against a run still, even though sometimes he can be a little slow. Von Miller had 1.5 sacks in this game. That's against a decimated Chargers line, but you're getting production from Von Miller. Johnny Newton, on the other hand, one of your younger guys, gets a sack in this game. I think that's one of the reasons why they let Jonathan Allen walk, is because they have two good pass rushers in like Deron Payne and Johnny Newton on the interior. And then we kind of criticized that Javon Kinlaw signing, but Javon Kinlaw is actually really good against the run. And that's, I think, what they kind of wanted to replace there, because they already had two good pass rush defensive tackles. And Dorrance Armstrong has 5 sacks on the year. So go figure. Dorrance Armstrong.
Yeah. Wow.
Who like, I think we were like that's your number one pass rusher, but he played well for the Commanders last year, and he's playing well for the Commanders this year. So
There's sometimes some randomness too to pass rushing and the sacks. Not saying that that's completely random, but sometimes
yeah,
there's just some randomness to it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, don't get like if the Eagles beat the Chargers in LA 27-10, I'd be very happy. So don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I just got to see them continue to play dominant football and to the
yeah,
level that they were playing last year, which I don't think we've seen too much of this year. And I just see them to beat good teams. Last year, the whole big thing was they didn't beat any good teams, and then of course they beat the Lions in the playoffs. So it's like, all right, that's good in Detroit. But now,
yeah,
now the honeymoon phase is just over for them, whether they like it or not. Whether it was quicker than they thought, and it's going to be quicker when you have a quarterback like Jayden Daniels play the way that he did his rookie year. So in a way, it's like a blessing and a curse.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. And honestly, like the Commanders, they got the Bears on Monday Night Football this year, which that
Yeah,
was like that was like the big Jayden Daniels breakout game. I feel like last year it was
right.
like the
The hail.
game-winning Hail Mary against the Bears, the number 1 and number 2 pick going at it again. Now Caleb Williams is looking good. The Bears' offense is starting to click. I think this is going to be a big test of them, and also like this is fun. It's going to be on Monday Night Football. It's going to be showing how these two have grown, because at this time last year, Jayden Daniels was ascending and Caleb Williams was still struggling. Now I feel like they're both kind of ascending, and like I think this is going to be a narrative game, especially being on prime time. The storylines between the picks, the Ben Johnson was who the Commanders wanted, but he wanted to wait one more year.
Oh yeah.
Ended up going with the Bears. So there's a lot of storylines here, and I think. I don't know. I think I'm more. What's it? Bullish is bullish. Bullish means you like it. I
Bullish
don't know.
is
I'm not good
possible.
at stocks.
Yes.
I think I'm more bullish on the Commanders. Honestly, I think
All right.
I think from what we've seen so far, like I said, if you want to recap it, like lost kind of it looks different because of the way that that game ended up to the Falcons, who are like mid. Destroyed the Raiders, who look awful. The Packers, the score looks closer, but that was garbage time touchdown.
Right.
But like the Packers were playing hot as hell. And they crushed the Giants, which you should. They suck. And they crushed the Chargers, who were hampered, which they should, this Bears thing, I think, is going to be really telling. I know that, you could gleam a little bit from being 5 games in, past a quarter of the season mark. But there's still questions. There's still, we kind of got to see. There's still injuries that are going to happen here and there. There's going to be adversity. But I think if Jayden Daniels is fully healthy, Jayden Daniels is the superstar as advertised, the offensive rookie of the year. I think I don't think the sophomore slump is going to be, and obviously he's going to have his struggles, but I don't think it's going to be some debilitating sophomore slump.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if there would be a sophomore slump with him necessarily. I agree. But he could also just have a year that isn't as good as last year because last year was so good too. So that's where they're going to have to figure it out, where they have to continue
regressing to the mean
where they left off from last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Any other big points you want to make about these Washington Commanders?
No, not really. Kind of a boring team without Jayden Daniels, as you can imagine.
Yeah, when you have Marcus Mariota starting for you, it can be depressing.
Yeah.
Which is why, and also I just want to say this while we're here. Everybody was talking about how Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston was going to go to the Bengals. They traded for Joe Flacco. So that's another option, which we might be biting ourselves later, just dump off of Russel Wilson, and get it was a pick swap. So I think they got a 5th for a 6th. I'll take that.
I think it's dumb what the Giants are doing. You have 2 quarterbacks who you can unload and get a decent amount relatively, and especially with Russell Wilson, to be done with that, but alas, here we are.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's talk about the freaking Dallas freaking Cowboys. Yeah. This is how the Dallas Cowboys season has started, huh? So, Dallas Cowboys start off against the Eagles. Oh, man. They're competitive. They can punch with it. Oh, no, there's thunder and lightning. No, they end up losing. Then they go up against the Giants. Wait, the Giants are going to beat us? Oh, wait, no, we're going to beat them because Shane Bowen fucking sucks. And Britton Aubrey is a god. And then, bam, Cowboys. Let me go back to this. And oh no, we suck again because our defense sucks. Matt Eberflus sucks. Revenge game against the Bears going awfully wrong. No. Oh, CeeDee Lamb's hurt too. No. Then, oh wait, the Packers are one of the best teams in the league, and we're going toe to toe. Overtime. Britton Aubrey. Bam, tie, and then smoke a shitty Jets team. So the Cowboys are all over the place, and Dak Prescott might be an MVP. I'd say right now, I don't know what the odds are, but I think he's probably in the top 5. Jeremy, what did you think about my quick little Cowboys recap there?
Wouldn't change anything, wouldn't add anything. That's how I exactly feel. Again, like the Washington one, just beautiful.
Okay, good, dude. That's kind of what I'm going for here. But man, Ryan Flournoy, dude, had the game of his life, and we were just talking about it last week with CeeDee Lamb out.
Yeah.
Ryan Flournoy finally started getting a little bit of praise. He's a big receiver who runs fast, and I think he ran a 4. Well, he's not the biggest. He's 6'1", 201, but he ran a 4.4. And I remember when he was drafted, I was like, he's just a nobody. But he showed up, dude. 6 catches, 114 yards. George Pickens was getting locked down by Sauce Gardner. George Pickens has looked great this year. He kind of looks like the George Pickens that he's been through his whole career. Kind of big play guy, makes some big crazy catches, but
more
he's not
week in and week out too.
Yeah. Jake Ferguson continues to be the safety net while CeeDee Lamb is gone, just getting a majority of the targets and making the most out of him. Jake Ferguson has been great. And then I know I've been talking about how Dak Prescott is back to his 2023 MVP form, but let's talk about somebody else who has returned to their promising form, and that's Javonte Williams, who we both were shitting on the pick. We were shitting on the pick, just like we were shitting on Rico Dowdle. Don't question Rico. Stop questioning Cowboys running backs, okay? Because they'll make you look stupid. like Javonte Williams and Rico Dowdle kind of did, but more so Javonte Williams because he's number 3 in the league with rushing right now, I believe. 2 or 3. You want to talk about Javonte Williams? You talk shit about him too, man. Don't make me take all the brunt here.
No, you're doing a good job. Well, listen, I think my concern about Javante was that he was going to most likely get hurt. And I think that's what you're considering too when you're bringing guys who have historically been hurt and just not able to perform at all, especially not have lived up, even when they are healthy, when he was healthy in Denver, not live up to the running back that they thought he could be when healthy. He's been good, but Dallas stinks. I don't care what people say. They beat the Jets. And let's not over congratulate them on that.
Yeah.
They should have lost to the Giants. They, if the game was in Green Bay, they would have been slapped around. This is the luckiest team ever. They lose miserably to the Bears in Chicago. They should, like I said, they should have lost to the Giants and they should have lost to Green Bay. Their record isn't good, and it shouldn't be as good as it is now. This team sucks. I don't care what people say. They're just worsening their draft pick, which I love. So good for them. Bad team.
Okay.
Everyone knows they're a bad team. Dak is not an MVP. No, 2-1 record wise shouldn't even be considered. I don't care about your stats. Great, dude. You threw a lot of yards against the Jets. Oh, give me a break. It's always with Dallas. Everybody always loves it. I'm not saying you, Sean, but everybody
Yeah.
loves getting on board with Dallas. This team isn't good. They should have lost to the Giants. If
They should have lost to the Giants. No, they should have lost to the Giants. No, that's true.
They should have lost to the Giants, and they absolutely should. The Packers. I don't know what happened there. That I think it helped that it was in Dallas too.
Yeah, they should have lost to the Packers too. Yeah,
but they are winning because of kicking in their own dome with their own kicker, Brandon Aubrey, who is very, very good, but I think benefits a lot by kicking in a dome like AT&T. And yeah, but they get rewarded this week by who they get to play the Panthers. Oh,
yeah.
it just doesn't stop with them. It's unbelievable. I can't wait for them to continue to lose.
Everybody.
This team isn't good. They're not good. They're from a serious standpoint, they're not good. They're not good without CeeDee Lamb. They will still beat the worst teams in the NFL, I guess, and because you have the highest paid player in the NFL at quarterback and just in general. So yeah, you should beat the Jets, and you should be given a cookie every time you beat them. Just bad. Jets to the Panthers. Great. Congrats, Dallas.
Hey, we'll see, man. Maybe they don't even, to get anything out of there. James Houston, man, had a couple of sacks in this game too, though. James Houston, is been kind of like their whole scrappy defensive end room.
Yeah,
It's actually been okay, here and there. James Houston now has 3.5 sacks in the season. He's on pace for over 10 sacks. We'll see how that goes. Those pace things are pretty wacky beginning of the season. Remember, wasn't AJ Brown on pace for over 2,000 receiving yards 5 games into the season?
Last year, yes.
Was it last year? I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and then that just doesn't end up happening. But Javonte Williams, I want to just finish this point. Yeah, he is. He's third in the league in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, with 447 rushing yards, only 3 yards behind James Cook. Actually tied for second with rushing touchdowns with 5, right behind. It's actually funny. The rushing yard leader and rushing touchdowns are consecutive with Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Javonte Williams. So that's kind of funny. But Javonte's been good, man. And they were missing all the Tylers last week too. All the Tylers, which their left tackle, their left guard, and their right guard. And it didn't actually show up against a Jets defense that I feel like should be better,
Yeah.
Just should be better, but Dak took advantage of it, man.
They're also the Jets. I mean, the Jets are
the
worst ever, and they're the Jets. So don't
the only winless team. Yeah. Only winless team in the NFL.
Yeah, it was funny too because week 1 against the Steelers, They look great. Justin Fields looked like a top 5 quarterback, and I'm not exaggerating. And that has certainly left the building.
No. I think it was funny because after week 1, I was like, man, dude, I wish we were the Jets because we were so bad and the Jets looked so good.
And it wasn't
And
even like
no,
it wasn't
nobody
even
should
just
ever
the
wish.
stats. Like it wasn't even just the stats. The stats were good from Fields, but like the throws he were making, brilliant. Like he looked poised. He looked under control. Was making tough throws, moving the ball well. A lot has
Yeah.
changed.
I will say this too. I mean, one of the biggest storylines was the storyline that happened before the season even started. That was trading Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. And it was to stop the run. You need to stop the run, which I think was literally just for the Eagles. Which actually, week 1 it kind of worked. Saquon Barkley was somewhat limited, but since then they were one of the worst run defense teams. Brees Hall averaged 8.4. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 8.1 yards per carry, 113 yards on 14 carries against them. And they got a big revenge game coming up with our boy Rico Dowdle, who said they better strap in because they know what's coming for him. And Rico Dowdle had the first 200-yard rusher of the season was our boy Rico Dowdle. And I think he has like close to 300 on the year now. And I really hope they're just like, sorry, Chuba, rest up that ankle one more week. I want to see what our boy Rico Dowdle can do here against the Cowboys.
They have that option for sure. It also should be mentioned that Dallas had an entire offseason to game plan against the Eagles and Saquon Barkley too. So it really just shows how their run defense has been brutal, but the Eagles' run defense has also been brutal. So, yeah.
Same with the Giants. Commanders actually not that bad, surprisingly. Although, let me just read.
That's where I guess the talent is on that defense.
Yeah.
I guess the middle of the field too. But middle of the field also contributes to run defense. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that was the Kinlaw signing. Bobby Wagner is still pretty decent with that. They have some solid safety depth too. Quan Martin's good all over the place. But yeah, Cowboys. Anything else you want to talk about the Cowboys? 5 games into the season, I think. I think I might be a little higher on the Cowboys. I still don't think they're like a playoff team. I don't think that they're like their defense is still shit. Their defense is just not good in the back end. Their secondary has been awful. And even though I said they've been getting some production sack numbers with like their kind of hodgepodge of edge rushers, they don't really have that. Like once you start playing good teams with solid offensive lines, I don't think that's they're going to have the impact they need to make up for their lack of a secondary right now. And their run defense isn't there. So Dak is fun. When CeeDee Lamb gets back, we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure also, aren't they missing Turpin and Tolbert? Turpin and Tolbert, aren't those guys both hurt now too?
Surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just double check there. Because I think that's why Flournoy's been... And hey, Flournoy's put the most together from it, so... No, he's not hurt. He just sucks. Jalen Tolbert, at least. But, I mean, we kind of knew that. Devontae Turpin, that's what I wanted to see. All right. Oh, also, they finally got their guy back, Jayden Blue, who I thought was maybe going to become the leading running back. But Javonte Williams is a superstar now.
Yes.
Cool. I don't know, Jeremy. It looks like I hate how there's a stupid article and you have to read 20 things about Devontae Turpin, where he was born and everything before you see his injury update.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, you got a word count you got to hit or something, dude? Yeah.
They usually do, actually.
Yeah. But, yeah, I guess he was dealing with a neck injury now with a foot injury, so I don't know. We'll see if he plays against the Panthers. Yeah, anything else about these Cowboys, man?
No, they're just I want to see them play good teams, too. I want to see everybody play good teams. The Eagles will play good teams. I want to see other people play good teams. I want to play bad teams. I think, I think we'll learn a lot more about the Cowboys when they start playing real competition.
Yeah, it's like sad because I was like so stoked about the Giants. I was like, man, like I'm like, ah, well, it's a bad team, so I can't take too much from it. And like, we're just gonna
Yeah,
like stat pad and look really good, and then bam, dude, it just fell apart, and it's just hurt so bad, dude. I was
and you
such a
can say too,
disappointment.
Cowboys fans can say we do play real competition. Packers, yeah, but you tied.
Packers
You didn't win.
tied.
You tied, so not the same.
All right, Jeremy. Well, I think that's it for that. Do you want to just do like the quick? The big thing is tomorrow. Me and Jeremy are going to
Yes.
be live streaming after the Giants Eagles game. Our two teams. I'm a diehard Giants fan. Jeremy's a diehard Eagles fan. It's going to be intense. There's going to be emotions that are high, that are low. Are the Giants going to upset the Eagles? Hopefully, please do. That I can see Jeremy in misery because he gets to see me in misery for the majority of the
That would
time.
be bad.
And will I be insufferable if we do win? Probably. I'll be nice because I'm a nice person, but I'll be insufferable a little bit. And if we lose, am I going to be insufferable? Yes, yeah, I probably will be because I'm a fucking miserable fan, and I bleed blue, and I bleed a lot of blue because we're constantly bleeding because this team is tearing me apart. But do you want to just we could do a little maybe after we talk about the game tomorrow, we can preview the Commanders and Cowboys when we know more about it. We want to just preview the Giants real quick, Giants Eagles.
Yeah, sure.
All right, what do you know the spread on this yet?
I do not know. Short week for both teams in Meadowlands. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Giants are at home on Thursday Night Football. Jackson Dart's second home game here. And this is a game that we play. I look up the spread. Jeremy doesn't know the spread. Jeremy guesses the spread. Jeremy, what is the spread?
I will say Eagles minus. Oh, I don't want to go too high, but I want to go high. I won't go too high. I'll go minus 5.5.
-7.
Okay. See, I get scared about. Ah, I get scared. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I understand. I understand the line. I think that now NFL lines are not afraid to really uh, move, which is
yeah.
interesting. Which we haven't really seen much. Do you know what is it too much to ask what it opened up at, Sean?
I don't know. I could Google it real quick.
Yeah.
Um, did the Giants spread open up at versus Eagles? Because the Giants spread opened up versus the Saints as -2.5, then went up to +1.5.
Huh.
Let's see. I think this will tell me really quick here. Yeah, I think they actually opened up at -7.5, so it's going towards the Giants' favor.
Wow.
I don't know.
That is,
Yeah,
I would not have thought that.
yeah. Well,
That
maybe.
is,
I mean, I don't know. It's at home. Giants need this one.
yeah, but the Eagles are coming off a loss. Yeah, I'm surprised. That's interesting. Wow. Okay, so I said minus 5.5. It's 7.
Yeah,
Huh.
started at 7.5.
It started at 7.5. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over under, I think, is pretty low too. Yeah, over under 40.5 points. So they're thinking this is going to be a low scoring game. Probably. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Offense is gonna be sloppy. Um, I guess I have to get more on the fact that there are really bad teams early on in the year and really good teams early on in the year, and I guess there's not as much of a middle in the NFL. I think if you're a bad team, you want to stay a bad team for the future, and if you're a good team, I mean, there's some middle. Yeah, there's some middle, but not too many. All right, interesting.
Yeah, I'm also gonna just double check here because like the Giants' injuries weren't totally up yet. But I mean, the Giants team that just lost to the Saints 26-14, 12 points against the Saints, the worst team in the league. But a
Right.
lot of people saw it going into it. It's not looking it's not looking great for the New York Football Giants. Like I said, our right tackle, who is our second best offensive tackle and probably like top 5 offensive player, Jermaine Illuminor, it looks like is not going to be playing. Our number 1 wide receiver, our highest paid wide receiver, now that Malik Neighbors is gone, Darius Slayton, hamstring injury, does not look like he will be playing. So unless we sign somebody off the street,
are
and it's
bad.
yeah, and it's not, and it is too quick of a turnaround. So it looks like Marcus Bowe will be lining up at right tackle, which the Eagles' edge rushers have been not what they were. I think if this was last year or the year prior, I would be terrified. But this year, I feel a little bit better about that. You said your run defense has been awful, right? Not as good.
It hasn't been as good. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that's. I mean, the Cowboys is bad. The Giants is bad right now. That's the thing. Like Saquon hasn't got himself moving. I think Saquon has this circled. He has this stupid Amazon documentary where they're still talking about the Giants on it. It's
Oh
stupid.
yeah, we skipped the lead. Who was it? Mara denied the trade request
Because he said he was too good to be traded. Yeah,
Stupid.
I don't know if that's the lead. Everybody that I've seen,
Stupid.
at least Giants fans. I mean, yeah, I guess we should have traded him, and then we could have like chose who we traded him to instead of letting him just walk to the Eagles.
And you would have got value too. Like
100%. We would have at least gotten a 3rd round pick. At
oh
least.
yeah, maybe a player too. Yeah, I mean, listen, yeah. Oh yeah,
It was dumb. It was dumb. And honestly, the Saints should be taking a page out of that. Trade Alvin Kamara now while you guys suck. Like Kendrick
Totally.
is okay. Like I think, yeah, I don't know. But speaking of the running back game, like I said, we are inept at wide receiver. We're going to be walking into this game with Wan'Dale Robinson as our wide receiver 1, who's only really good in the slot. Jalen Hyatt, who's pretty much useless, playing on the outside, with Bo Collins, our UDFA out of Notre Dame, who hasn't done anything, by the way. Also, when I was talking about Darius Slayton was the lowest graded wide receiver, the second lowest graded wide receiver last week, Bo Collins, which I think it's just unfair. He didn't really do anything. So,
right. That's why I think, some of these ratings are insane just because they don't do anything, and then they'll rate somebody who played poorly. They'll give them a good rating because they only played a few snaps, even though they suck. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. And then I guess hopefully Lil Jordan Humphrey, Montrell Washington, those guys will be brought up from the practice squad. But I think this is going to be a tight end game. If you guys are looking for props, I probably wouldn't bet them. I don't really want to touch anything on the Giants this week, especially with Tyrone Tracy coming back probably. So you can't just kind of hammer Cam Scattaboo props. But I think Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scattaboo, it looks like Tyrone's playing. Those two are going to be our bread and butter, like literally our thunder and lightning. We're going to need to rely on those guys if we want any fighting chance against the Seagulls. Plus, if they're running well and running efficiently, we need to chew up that clock because our defense, I think, is good, but we can't have them on the field all game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that needs to happen. We need to get some sort of wide receiver production, though, too. Please, Wan'Dale, bring back the Wan'Dale against the Dallas Cowboys. It's not going to be the same because the Eagles secondary is actually pretty decent. Let's exploit Adoree Jackson where we can. I think that's maybe where Jalen Hyatt can win. Adoree still playing majority?
He only played 1 snap last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was out the week before because he was hurt. So most likely no Adoree Jackson.
That's fair. Then never mind. Keely Ringo.
You're thinking's in the right place, so I get it.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I see this here. And then Jackson Dart, man, show that moxie, dude. He still had the moxie, even in the loss. People are talking crap about you. Yes, you should have hit Darius Slayton on that flea flicker. That was bad. But I do want to see some explosive plays because we can't just we can't be doing the boring Daniel Jones, Brian Daboll offense where we're just looking for 5 yards, 8 yards, and slowly getting first downs. We need to be doing explosive plays as well as just grinding the clock. And then defensively, Abdul Carter, let's get that sack production. Brian Burns, let's get that sack. Let's take advantage of an injured Philadelphia Eagles O-line. I want to see a sack from each of the big four. I want to see Sexy Dexy breaking that up. I want to see the run game completely decimated by the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to see Saquon Barkley locked down. Lock him up. I don't want you to injure him either. I don't want any excuses from the Eagles. I want him fully healthy the whole game. That way we can crush him. And Drew Phillips get some more INTs. Deontay Banks actually did play good against AJ Brown once. Maybe they'll put him up against them. That's like really all we can do there. But like, please don't let AJ. My biggest fear is that everything that we've been shitting on for the Eagles, that everything that's been broken about the Eagles is going to be fixed against the New York Football Giants. Right. It's going to be an AJ Brown 200-yard game. It's going to be a Saquon Barkley 200-yard game. It's going to turn the season around for the Eagles and going to head right back to the Super Bowl because they had their get-right game against the New York Giants on primetime in their home. Don't let that happen. Jeremy, I'm sorry. I ranted mostly here. What are your keys to victory for the Eagles?
Just go out there and play football. Let talent take care of talent. Let coaching take care of coaching. Do enough. It would be nice if they played a complete game, but you just gotta win. Run your system. Play. Don't take it for granted that you're playing the Giants. That's all I got. I'm sorry. That's
fair. That's fair. I mean, dude, I'm looking at this because like this means something. Like if we beat the Eagles, like that's like I don't know. It's a lost season. Maybe at this point, I'm already looking at draft picks, which is just embarrassing and pathetic.
No, that's our Super Bowl. If you beat the Eagles,
I don't like you saying that. That's rude. That's fucking rude, dude. No, it's not our Super Bowl, but I know it will hurt you guys. Even if you guys like, oh, whatever, we just won the Super Bowl. It'll still hurt you. It'll hurt Philly. It'll hurt Philly bad, and I want to see it. I want to see it. And I love Philadelphia as a city. I hate them as a fan base. I love Jeremy as a fan.
Thank you.
But yeah, we'll be posting it live. But we're going to be right after the game, and then we'll know more about the other games. So after we rant and cry and scream, and probably rant and cry and scream, maybe take a couple shots. We'll talk about the other two games with the Commanders playing the Bears on Monday Night Football and the Cowboys playing the Panthers. But we're going to leave that till tomorrow, I think, right? I feel like that should be good.
Yeah, probably. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, let's win this freaking game, New York. Let's freaking win this game, New York Football Giants. We need it. Jeremy, anything else?
The Eagles, just go out there. We'll be good.
All right. Like I said, like and comment. If you want to know the cat story, if you comment today, maybe we can do it tomorrow after the game.
Comment for the cat story.
Comment for the cat story. Comment actually football stuff that we can get to. And we will be live streaming. So if anybody has anything you want to talk a little shit, you want to make a couple comments, hop in there tomorrow, ask some questions. Hopefully the Giants don't get me too inebriated with their play. But maybe that'll be a better watch for you guys. So we shall see.
Yeah.
All right. Like and subscribe.
Score prediction quickly.
Oh, yeah. We have to do score predictions. Yeah, dude. Damn. Man, just because it's a weird week, dude. This whole week it's felt so weird for me because like.
Yeah, it really has. It feels like today's a Wednesday, but it feels like a Thursday. I don't know if other people have the same thing.
Yeah, me too. I kept thinking that today was like the day. Like I kept saying like, oh yeah.
Yeah. But then I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't be today, but yeah. Right.
Ooh, man. I was just looking to see if we actually guessed any of these scores correctly from this. Oh, dude, I don't. Nah, doesn't count. No, the scores were very off last week. Shit, Jeremy, you go first, dude. I want to.
All right.
Be honest, be mean, dude.
No, listen, you're gonna get the honesty, absolutely. Eagles win, of course. Eagles cover. I'm trying to think of the score. I wanted to be a coming out game for the offense. I think it could be. I'll go.
Hey, Shane Bowen's a good one for that to happen.
Yeah, I will go 33-13 Eagles.
33, sick, dude. That's, I mean, honestly, like the way the Giants have performed, I can't even be like, dude,
Yeah.
that's disrespect. Like that's, it lines up. It
Yeah, listen,
adds
that's
up.
33-13, 33-14-ish. It depends on, like, it depends. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, something along those lines.
I'm not afraid of being wrong. I want to be honest here, but I
We
actually
know.
do have like sometimes I have this sinking skin crawling like fear for a game of how bad the Giants would be embarrassed, especially on primetime. And it's happened. Like it's been miserable. It's been miserable. Like the Giants suck, but it's been amplified on primetime.
Yeah.
I need a strong showing here, and I believe in the Giants. So I'm gonna put this. This is gonna be the score. This is going to be it. To be Giants 27, Eagles 24, overtime win. Judd McAtamy gets injured, and Younghoe Koo comes back with a kicking redemption tour and kicks a game-winning field goal in overtime. It's happening. I called it. Clip this for I'll clip this. We'll play it tomorrow on the live stream. So
Right.
because it's going to be exactly it. Giants 27, Eagles 24. Overtime. Younghoe Koo comes in because Jude McAtamy gets injured, wins the game. Jackson Dart 3 touchdowns. Yeah, that's it. What do you think, Jeremy? Is that good?
Hey, for you, yeah, sure, it'd be great. As a realistic pick, no, but listen, your world.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, join us tomorrow on the live YouTube post game. And it should be fun. Come with questions, come with excitement, come with velocity, come with veracity, come ferociously. But just come in general. Just come and watch because we need it. All right, Jeremy. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's it for me.
All right, we'll see you then, guys. Thank you so much. We are the beasts of the NFC East. Peace.